Senator Elizabeth Warren announcing a new wealth tax on the ultra-rich. This is her idea, campaign idea, which would be 2% added on top for Americans with more than $50 million in assets. Warren saying in a fundraising push, quote, "A lot of rich and powerful people won't like it, but I don't work for them." A new Fox poll shows that many Democrats think that socialism is a good thing. 40% say they think socialism is a good thing. 34% said that it was a bad thing. Here now, Chris Stirewalt, Fox News politics editor, and Wendy Osefo, a political and social justice commentator. Good to have both of you with us. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Wendy, let me start with you. What does that number say to you? You know, do you find that number disturbing, or do you think it's something that's a good place for Democrats to look when they're putting together their policies for 2020?
Well, I think that Venezuela, North Korea, even China has shown us that socialism is not necessarily the way to go. But what people are looking for is the utopian ideologies that underlie socialism. That is, they want that, human beings don't want for anything, and that we have equality. And I think that that's what Warren is trying to say here. Her approach may not necessarily be the best, but a Gallup poll also showed that, most millennials don't even know what socialism really is. So I think that that's another issue here, is that when people are talking about socialism, they're thinking about the ideologies that speak to it, but not necessarily what it will take and how it could turn a government on its head. But what cannot be lost in the conversation is the fact that when we have individuals who are not making any money and then others who are billionaires, and that is a problem, especially in our great nation, which is supposed to be the leader. So that is the biggest issue.
I think it's an interesting point. I mean, I think a lot of people on all sides of the fence agree that income disparity and how exaggerated it has become is probably not a great thing. But that's a long way away, Chris Stirewalt, from deconstructing capitalism and the economy that has been so prosperous for the United States and exchanging it for something that looks like Venezuela, which frankly looks a lot worse than not so good. It looks disastrous and catastrophic.
Right. Now, what Warren is proposing would be very popular with the general electorate.
Absolutely.
A big tax on very rich people is always popular.
Over $50 million.
Over $50 million, they like it. And guess what our poll also found is that when you get over about $250,000, tax increases on the wealthy get quite popular. Remember, Donald Trump got elected president because he was a populist. The energy in the country right now is populist energy. It's eat the rich. It's against entrenched, powerful people. Elizabeth Warren's trying to get in on that. However, and this is the real danger that Democrats face now, if they allow their party, no matter who the nominee is, I don't think they're going to nominate Elizabeth Warren, but if whoever the survivor is.
Who do you think they're going to nominate, Chris?
I'd say the
Kamala
one to beat
Harris.
right now, is Kamala Harris is the one to beat right now. But for Democrats, if they're branded, if the eventual nominee is branded as a socialist or branded in this way, if they allow the Republicans and Donald Trump to define them as that, then they got no shot because they need to make the election about Trump.
Yeah, let's put up the people that are declared so far and the people who have announced exploratory committees. I think it's very interesting that the two of you both said Kamala Harris is the one to beat here. Wendy, why do you say that?
I think Kamala Harris brings a new, fresh set of energy to the Democratic Party. I think that she speaks to all of the marginalized populations that Donald Trump has just really outed during his presidency. She is a daughter of immigrants. She's a female. She's a minority. She just speaks to so much of what people need right now in that new energy. I do think that some people have touted a Biden-Harris ticket and what that will look like. I will actually flip that on its head and say a Harris-Biden ticket, where Harris is the president and Biden is the VP.
But He's done it before. He knows how to do that job.
Absolutely. And not to mention, she's my sorority sister. So, she has everything that we need to be the president of the United States of America.
5 seconds, Chris. Quick thought.
Happy Friday. Glad to be with you.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Good to see you both.